So in the strongest possible terms, let me suggest to you that this race is one of the most important congressional races in America because the choices are so clear. And if you elect Zephyr, the message goes out all over the country that when people stand together, that when we continue the political revolution, that Wall Street and their billionaires can pour in all the money they want. But you look around you here today, this is what we have. They have billionaires, we have the people, and when we stand together, people will win. Thank you. All right, that Bernie is now got to be transferred to Zephyr. It gives me, and I say this very sincerely because I have known Zephyr for a number of years, I have not the slightest doubt that when you elect Zephyr, she is not going to be just another member of Congress. She is going to be a leader. Please welcome Zephyr Teachout.
Thank you, Bernie Sanders. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, for being an independent fighter for all Americans, not just the wealthy and well-connected. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, for having the guts to lead all of us in standing up against the billionaires who are trying to take over our democracy. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, for being such an incredible voice for veterans. Thank you, Bernie Sanders, for being an incredible voice to stop the fracked gas pipelines and invest in renewable energy. I was so happy to endorse Bernie Sanders last year, but not nearly as happy as I am today to have Bernie Sanders join us in this critical race in the 19th Congressional District. And really, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for raising up your voices. Thank you all for the work you are going to help me do in the next 7 weeks to make sure everybody in the 19th Congressional District knows they have a real choice to make, and it's a choice of the people versus the billionaires. Look, we are at a crisis moment in our democracy and economy. You guys know that, right? Oh, yeah. It's a once-in-a-generation crisis. Some people might say it's a once-in-a-100-year crisis. And it's a crisis of our Congress and what's happening in Washington. Because what is happening in Congress right now, as we speak, is because of money in politics, instead of people doing the work that we expect Congress to do, figuring out how to build our economy, figuring out how to bring jobs home, figuring out how to support workers, men and women throughout this area, there are people sitting in little rooms, calling up the richest people they know, and asking them for money. That doesn't make any sense, and that's not what our democracy is supposed to be about. The idea of our democracy is that a congressional representative listens to all of your voices, Democrat, Republican, Independent. Respects your voices and takes those voices to Washington. So I just want to warn you, when I go to Washington as your representative, you're all coming along with me.
I want to go. Teachout, 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 teachout.
We got this. We got this. And when I go to Congress, we're going to get our voices there, and I am going to stand up against the big polluters who want to poison our waterways and make sure we protect our water and our air. We're not going to let these anchorages go into the Hudson River. We're not going to let fracked gas into our state. And we're not going to let the polluters get away without paying their fair share. And when we all go to Congress together, we're going to be fighting to bring jobs home. We got to be making things in America again. We got to be assembling iPhones in Kingston. I don't want to see our apples shipped to Texas where they get sliced up and then shipped back here. Let's slice them up right here. I'm going to be fighting against these disastrous trade deals and for bringing jobs home. And while we're at it, we're going to be supporting local farming. I'm going to go to Congress to get on the Ag Committee and be a voice for family farmers. And I'm going to Congress, and you're all coming with me. You ready? So we can clean up Congress, change the way we fund elections, work to overturn Citizens United. Thank you, Bernie, for pointing out the clear choice in this election. We got a very clear choice, okay? On the one hand, we have got John Faso, an Albany politician who then sold out and became a lobbyist for payday lenders.
That's lame.
A lobbyist for the big fracked gas pipelines. And the hedge fund billionaires are so confident. They're so confident that John Faso is on the side of the billionaires that they have put in millions of dollars to a super PAC backing him because they don't want to see me and you in Washington. There's these, Bernie mentioned these two hedge fund billionaires who put in $500,000 each to my opponent's super PAC. So I got to tell you what I did. I challenged them to a debate. Paul Singer, one of the biggest fast-track, Trans-Pacific Partnership, free trade supporters in the world. He wants to offshore your jobs. He put $500,000 into John Fasso's super PAC. Why? So I asked him to come debate me. If you want to buy a congressional seat, we want to know why. So far, he hasn't answered. On the other hand, I have you. Bernie Sanders' average contribution was $27. What's our average contribution? $19. Thousands of grassroots people reaching into their pockets so we can have people's voices in Washington. So, I want to go to former New York Governor Teddy Roosevelt. Because it's time to take on some powerful interests. And he says, we got to take on the unholy alliance between corrupt business and corrupt politics, and that's what we're doing in this campaign. So are you with me? Are we going to take on the billionaires and replace them with people power? Are we going to stop the trade deals like NAFTA and the TPP and replace it with bringing jobs home? Are we going to protect our water from Hoosick Falls to the Hudson? Okay, you said you're with me. Ready? Because I need your help. We got to hit 70,000 doors in the next 7 weeks. 70,000 doors in the next 7 weeks. You going to help me? All right, there's places to sign up all over. And I need you to go door to door and tell your neighbors and friends deep from within your heart why this is such an important race. They'll listen to you. Because this is about true grassroots, neighbor to neighbor, person to person politics, not big money politics. Okay? So I need your help making phone calls. I need your help going door to door. I need your help organizing in your local communities. And you being part of this campaign is just the beginning of what we are going to be able to do when I'm in Congress. So as Bernie always says, it's not about me, it's about us. We can take our piece of America, our communities, our towns and farms, and we can make them better than they ever have been. We are in a crisis moment. But that doesn't mean that we should turn away. It means we have to turn in and get even more involved in politics. We can show the rest of America how to renew our nation. We can have a renewed democracy in America. Looking out on all of you, I know that. I believe that. We can have person-to-person politics again.
She needs you!
So thank you, Bernie Sanders, for being an independent fighter. I promise you, I will be an independent fighter for all of us when I am in Congress. Please join me. Thank you for being here.